Thanks for coming by. Great to see you. You look fantastic.
Tommy,
you sound fantastic.
Thank
too,
you so
by
much.
The way.
Well, I gotta say one thing. You look better.
I don't know
looking
about
good,
that.
man. I like to live.
I'm trying to. I got to go on a diet.
No.
I think I'm a little too heavy. I
No.
got to lose some weight.
Get out of here.
Yeah, look at that little paunch
That's
I got.
okay.
going.
That's a security.
Little middle-aged paunch going on there. Security. I like that. This keeps me warm at night when I'm sleeping.
Exactly.
I don't even need my puppy dog anymore.
No, it's just right there with you.
So you're back out. It's great to see you.
Thank
You kind of like back. You kind of like dormant there for a while.
I was out of commission for a while.
Yeah. Why?
And
Is it the job and all that?
you know, just the whole scene. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to back off for a while.
It's tough.
It's a tough life, man.
Yeah. It's real easy to get tired of.
Yeah.
We're talking about music. By the
Yeah,
way.
music, not living or anything like that.
We're not talking about now. You're an engineer. You were an engineer by trade.
Well, not an engineer, but I did work at the Mahoney County Engineer's Office.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
what's your degree?
My degree's in communication.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it from YSU.
That's what I have mine in.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Well, you're a good communicator.
Well, you are too.
How did the engineer thing happen?
We did this, we did that, and boom, I ended up there.
You pulled a few strings.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Called a few guys. And,
whatever happened, it worked out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good. So now I remember you. The last band I remember that you were in was the Rhythm Junkies.
Yeah, right.
Now that wasn't together too long ago.
No, just probably about maybe 3 years.
Yeah. Was it the usual band hassles that broke the group up, or the personality conflicts?
It was a combination of everything, and probably, maybe I was, I should have been a little more patient, but I wasn't. And it just got to the point where it was just time to move on. No animosity, no problems. Everybody just decided, well, that we've had enough.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
You get to that point where it outlives its usefulness.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about myself. That's why I'm trying to reinvent myself.
Well, I'll tell you what. I watch Conan O'Brien, all those guys. Tommy, you're just as good as them.
Well, thank you.
I really do. I think you are.
I hope you're right.
And I ain't just saying this because we're getting interviewed over here.
Yeah, well, no.
I enjoyed it.
No, I know you're a straight shooter. I understand.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, by the way.
Well,
so you grew up in Camel?
yep. Yeah. I can look back. Hamlin was a great place to grow up. Great place.
It's still a great place. Now, how did you get interested in the bass? Why the bass?
Okay. Well, I was like most musicians in the world, saw the Beatles, February 9th, 1964.
Okay.
Got into a band. Okay. When first time I played out was 1967. I was 14, and we were all playing guitars. Okay, because when you're that young,
You don't know.
It lasted until about 1970. I'm dating myself, but that's okay. And it broke up. So I went down to the Musicians Union when we broke up, and I saw Mr. Pat Burrell. He says, "There's a band looking for a bass player." I said, "I can't play." He goes, "Yes, you can." And I started playing bass.
So it was in you. It was in you. It just had to come out.
I really enjoy the bass, and what I really learned, Tommy, I was listening to this Jimmy Smith album called Root Down and Get It.
Oh.
Wilton Felter was playing bass. And
he was with the Crusaders.
Jazz Crusaders, right?
Right.
And I heard it, and I went, bing, that's it. That's the way I want to play.
The Jocko thing.
Yeah.
When did that bug hit you?
Oh, 76, when his debut album came out.
Yeah. You heard this guy and you went, oh my God.
Exactly. He was like if God played bass, he'd take lessons off Jocko. To this day, if you're hip to music, especially bass, you're going to say, well, that guy's trying to play like Jocko, which I really couldn't, but he's my heaviest influence.
Yeah.
I just love the guy.
So now, who else do you like? I mean, I know you love Jocko, but who other musicians?
Victor Wooten. Are you talking bass players or musicians?
Any or all.
I love David Garibaldi.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Orange White Band.
Mm-hmm.
Guitar Power, Earth, Wind and Fire. That's where I'm at.
You're a soul cat.
That's where I'm at, man.
You're
Like you.
You're an R&B soul cat.
Just like you, Tommy. We're on the same page when it comes to that.
We did. I remember you and I did a couple of gigs together.
Yeah.
And I remember when I think it was just kind of like a walk-on thing. We may have had some rehearsals, but I remember I think it was the gristmill. And somebody made a remark to me, and I don't know if I ever told you this or not, but we were playing our tunes, and you were playing. Somebody on a break, we took a break, and somebody came up to me and said, "What did you do? Hire Jocko Pastore to play bass?" And I don't know if I ever told you that.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Oh,
so
wow.
I should have.
That's
Probably would have made your night, right?
That's a wonderful compliment. Thank you.
I says, yeah, that's what he reminds me of. And fretless, you do any fretless stuff?
No. Fretless is pretty hard to play.
Is it?
Yeah, you got to be right on, and
you have to be right on the fretboard.
I'm kind of like lazy now, so I still got the jazz bass, but
just want to see the dots.
Exactly, and the frets.
And the frets.
Because when there's no frets, it's
man.
and if you're a little off.
What if you have the fretless and dots though? Will that work?
Yeah, but you can get fretless now with lines in there where the frets used to be, and I just think.
That's kind of cheating, but
yeah,
okay.
Well, sure, it's cheating. Yeah,
that's all right.
But no fretless, no.
Because that's a wonderful sound.
That's Jocko.
There was a guy by the name of Vyacheslav Mitus.
Yes.
And he used to play with Weather Report.
He was in Weather Report.
And he could make that fretless sound like a trombone and a trumpet and a clarinet.
There's so many monsters out there. I mean, these guys are just, they dedicate their lives to it, And there's just cats everywhere, man. And I think it's just wonderful, man.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I'm back. Because with the internet now, it's more, accessible to all these guys. And watching like Victor Wooten, Modern Cats, who is, to me, is in Jocko's league. Richard Bona. Okay, Richard Bona is a complete musician. He's from South Africa. He plays a 5-string Fodera bass, which is incredible. And he sings. And he has a whole different vibe because being from Africa, his rhythm is different.
I know of a guy that I know you'll like, and I'm trying to think of his name. His name is Pino Palladino.
Palladino, yeah. Remember that Paul Young song?
Yes.
Every Time You Go Away, that beautiful. That was
him.
Pino. That was Pino.
And he did a lot of stuff with Go West.
Yeah.
Too.
And he sits in with the Who a lot.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
The Bambo Kino.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about how that name, first of all, came about.
Okay, I will. Great. I'm a Beatle fanatic. I got 20 books on the Beatles, and I read about them all the time. And there's this one guy named Bob Spitz who wrote this Beatle, supposed to be the definitive biography, or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Now, the first time the Beatles went to Hamburg, which all us Beatle people know, right? They went there in 1960, August of 1960. And they played the Kindred or Indrid or whatever the name was. But they stayed next door. This is a true story. They stayed next door in this theater that was a porn theater. And they slept behind a screen. It was called the Bambi Kino. And I went, Bambi Kino. And Tommy, and I know you do this. You get ideas, you just put them in your idea book. You may put them away. And I said, Bambi, the deer. I said, no, not the deer. Bambo, Jocko, Bambo Kino.
Oh.
And I like the name because, and that is my stage name or whatever, persona, whatever.
Yeah.
But I like it because it's like, I don't know, it's just not, a regular name.
It's unusual.
Yes.
Very exotic sounding.
Yes. So you said it better than I did.
So the Bambi thing was, I was wondering why you changed the I to the O because you don't want to sound like the little deer.
Well, yeah, Bambi. Bambi's the deer.
Did you know, and I know you know this is a fact about the Bambi Kino.
I'm listening.
The Beatles got deported
Yeah.
because of that, because they started a fire back there.
Yep. It was dark.
Yeah.
And they needed some light, so they hung something on the wall, which we won't discuss,
Right.
and lit it on fire.
Right.
And I think too what may have happened was they were trying to leave that Bruno guy that they worked for,
Yeah.
and he found out about it, and I think he had something to do with their demise at that time. Kicking him out, I think.
Now, he was now. Here's 19-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Signed with a manager that booked them their first gig.
Yeah.
Basically
In Sin
in
City.
Hamburg, Germany. Now, can you imagine you're a little kid and you say, "Where are we going? Hamburg."
That was
Well,
the time.
well, you know, that was even pre-Pete Best days. There was a guy by the name of Stuart something.
Stuart Sutcliffe.
Played drums.
No, he played the bass.
Oh, he did?
He was Lennon's really good buddy.
Okay.
And they kind of kept him in the band.
So Paul wasn't involved at that point?
Yeah, Paul was involved. Yeah, when they went, okay,
Well, what did Paul play?
Paul played guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, and piano and everything. No, Pete Best was in the band.
Okay.
The best of my recollection. It was, George, John, all those guys. But and then when they finally let Stuart Sutcliffe go, because I don't think he really wanted to do it. I don't know, but he wasn't keeping up with those guys. And when they let him go, then that's when Paul took over bass.
So, other than your sister inspiring you to do this project, what else brought this project?
I was watching these bands on TV, and I just said, the kid bands and all that. I just said, I got to go do something that I can listen to if I grow to be old. Take the lead with your bass. You can do that, and that's really how it come about.
Mm-hmm. Well, you always kind of did play in that style, though. I mean,
Yeah.
your bass
I
playing
played a lot of notes.
You didn't play out of context or out of rhythm. You just played things. What I liked about you the most was when I worked with you
Thanks,
was
Tom.
you played things in your own style.
Thank you.
You didn't have to copy a record. You had that creativity.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of just played what I
A
wanted.
lot of guys are lost without the record tracks.
And too, Tommy, the way we did it, we built the songs like kind of backwards.
Right.
A lot of guys, when you go into the studio environment, especially when you're saying, "Hey, there's a bass line, play something." Here's what I'm thinking.
Did those guys all have to have charts and everything?
For some, we got some charts.
Caro.
Bernard Caro.
Bernard Caro.
Yeah, that's
now,
my manager.
What's he all about?
He's my manager.
Okay, now
Yeah.
where did you find?
I've known him for 45 years. We grew up together in Camel. He's a dear friend.
Oh, okay.
And I said, I need a manager. He goes, well, I said, you're the manager.
So,
I said, you're the manager. He goes, okay.
I'm going to pull a Marco Rubio here and
I'll
grab.
do
Did
that.
you see Marco the other night? I was
Yeah.
sweating to death and grabbing for his
Yeah.
water. And
Oh, God.
Salute. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Good luck.
Coffee, by the
My
way,
friend.
everybody. We're not drinking.
And I dig the lid. I dig the lid.
Well, I got to hide my bowl.
I got to tell you a story. Can I tell you a story?
Sure.
Now, I mean, you probably can't see it, but I got these crazy black and white shoes on.
Yeah,
right?
I saw those.
You
Did
know.
you get those downtown at the?
Here's the story.
The two cousins or two guys. or
Here's
whatever?
the story. So I go into this place, and I see the shoes. I got one of them. I says, I'm going to give you a check. Lady goes, no check, check bounce. I go, wait a minute, wait. I says, this isn't going to bounce. She goes, take no check, cash. I said, lady, I said, please. I said, I really want these shoes. I don't have enough money on me. She goes, no, take check bounce. I says, how about if I give you $5 cash in the check? She goes, okay, next time bring cash. True story.
But I bought a couple of things from there years ago.
Yeah.
But I go in the window and I just admire everything.
Oh, it's wild, man. I love that stuff.
It is. It's so crazy.
I got to tell you a story. When I used to play in Rosslock and Rainbow back in the 70s, now this is disco and all this crazy stuff, I used to wear red patent leather shoes. And my mother hated them. She goes, why do you have to wear those shoes? Now, my mother is a strong old Ukrainian lady, old school.
Okay.
So what she actually did, though, she stole the shoes and hid them. And I found them 3 years later.
Get out of
Honest to God.
So now the new stuff, is that pretty much the same as the stuff on here?
Yeah, except I'm concentrating more on the writing itself. It's all built around the bass, and I'm going to go at a slower pace. I just really want to tighten these songs up. I want to grow. I want to kick up the. I want to kick it up a notch every song. So things I may have settled for before, I won't settle for. So the productivity will slow down. But yeah, it's the same stuff.
Yeah. To tighten it up
Yeah.
and take more time.
Yeah.
Of course, that costs money, but
Well,
you know,
as long as the longer I spend at home with it, the more ideas I get. You
Right.
know? And the skyscraper's ready to go.
good. So it's going to be called Skyscraper.
That's
Okay.
the first one, yeah.
Good. How about, have you ever given any thought to live shows?
You know what? Probably
it's
not.
too much of a pain.
It's and then you know, who's going to come see us? I mean, you know, you got to put a band together, you got to rehearse, and not really, no.
But if you had some success on Amazon or CD Baby or whatever your avenue is there, and a tour opportunity came up, would you do a tour?
In a minute. I offer, you know, that would be like, you know, saying, hey, look, I can do this for you. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, it'd be pretty exciting
you know,
if you had CD success.
But Tommy, that would be great. But you know, the joy of the whole thing is just doing it.
Right.
You know, and that's why we do this, man. I mean, you know, hanging with the cats and having a good time, and if something develops, great. If it doesn't, that's great too.
Well, I do computer recording, and I love it. I mean, I love the technology, and it's still musicianship. I still
Sure
play things in real time.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't fudge anything like slow it down.
Oh, you write great stuff, man. I listen to your stuff on your website. It's great.
I got a new CD coming out. I'll
Yeah.
give you a copy.
Okay.
But I was talking to a friend a couple of years ago, and I said, why are we doing this? I mean, is this kind of like a pat yourself on the back type of thing that we're doing? All these years we've been doing these CDs. I've written
Seems like
over
forever.
200 or 300 songs, you know, and they get recorded and put on the shelf, and you know. So I had this last CD I did. I had to justify it to myself.
Yeah.
I said, well, why am I doing this? I mean, what am I doing? Who's going to buy this? Who's going to hear it first? Who's going to buy me? I could put it on Amazon. I could put it on CD Baby, whatever. There's some kind of a marketing magic that you have to have.
A little this, a little that.
People like us, they've been there, done that. They're home watching HBO.
Wonderful standards. I listen to them on your website, Tommy. I mean, it's just
thank
you know, you're nailing stuff, man. I mean, and ain't no sunshine. I mean, that's beautiful. I like you got your ball cap on, and you're just sitting there. I mean, and that is old school.
Yeah.
You know, emotion or old school feel.
You still want to do stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
age doesn't dictate how you
No.
feel inside or in your
No.
mind, right?
Right.
You still want to get out there and have fun, and hang with the guys like you say, and make good music, you know. But the market for you starts to dwindle and dwindle, and you get.
I think, remember me and you were talking even about, I don't know, a week or two ago, and you were just saying how there is no place for people our age to go. So all of a sudden, you're playing some good music, you're playing good stuff, you're mixing it up good. People want to go hear this kind of stuff.
You would
wasn't
think they
looking
would,
up.
yeah.
I mean, and you know, being in Youngstown, the demographics are probably not as big as like New York City or anything, but there got to be a group of core people out there that want to hear that, and you're going to get a following.
I would think.
I
I think a lot of those people we're talking about are following John Reese.
yeah.
Because he's got a large following.
But remember, and I said this to you too. I said I think your bands complement each other.
Yeah.
You know, because you guys are doing all vocals. They do vocals, but you're doing a different style.
Yeah.
And you know, you're playing great stuff. So I just wish you the best of luck, man.
Well, thank you. What we're doing is we're taking songs and doing them in our own style.
Right.
Jazz them up.
Yeah.
You know, but they're recognizable songs. They're popular songs.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so we're trying to find some kind of connection
Yeah.
between the old world, the old school, I should say, and the new.
Well, the stuff I heard on your website's tremendous, man. And I
Thank you.
think you're accomplishing what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I hope so.
You know,
I hope so.
I love the
And,
standards. I love it.
I hope we get to where we want to go, wherever that may be.
Yeah.
You too, you know, with American Deluxe, and I hope you have
Thank you.
some success on Amazon. Now, don't forget, everybody, go to Amazon, type in either Bambo Kino, well, don't type in American Deluxe because there's probably a lot of,
There's probably, yeah.
but with the word American in it, there's probably
Yeah.
too many millions of stuff.
Probably take it.
Bambo Kino's unique though. I mean, you will
Well,
find it. 'Cause it's what I did.
Yeah.
I went on,
Yeah.
I Googled Bambo Kino and
Yeah.
boom.
yeah,
A bunch of stuff.
you can go to my website, bambokino.com.
I went there, too.
And John Safera, who played drums on it, he built my website too.
Okay.
He's a great IT guy, so.
Yeah. John's a great
I
guy
love
all
John.
the way around.
He's going to be on. He's got interview too. He'll have a.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's going. His show's going to air starting the week of March. What's Monday? March 4th. I don't know.
Oh yeah, March 4th. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because the first on a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His show will air, if not that week, then the following
Yeah.
week, for sure. But it will air. We just finished the edit. We had great fun. We shot it here.
Oh, he's a.
We had a lot of fun, and there's a lot of nice vintage
Oh, John's got
glass heart
stories. Sure.
footage. Oh yeah, he told us great stories, and we talked about the Phil Keggy thing and they being on the verge and all that when all that
They were.
happened, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I really do. But they've been relatively successful.
They've
so-
done fine.
Yeah, sure. Phil's done very well.
Oh, Phil. We went up and saw him. A friend of mine. I went up to that Winchester up in Cleveland, and Keggy played by himself, and he just knocked me on my butt.
Oh.
Man. He just.
He's a virtuoso.
Yeah.
Always has been.
Yeah.
I was watching some old footage that John sent me of when they were just kids. Phil was 20 years old.
Yeah.
He was even
I know.
then. He was unbelievable.
He was.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them guys up by Dora Park, the New Hudson exit and all that.
Sure.
Remember by Dora Park?
Yeah.
And they were, you just go, oh my God.
We talked about Idora Park the other day when he was hearing about the ballroom.
Yeah.
And I remember every time I think of that, I think of the time I went to see the Young Rascals.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, grooving with a girl like you.
Tremendous.
Oh, it's wonderful. Well produced
Yeah.
songs, and I went there and they were like rocking,
Yeah.
loud, and straight ahead rock.
Original, was it the original band?
Oh, the original band.
Dino, what's his name? The drummer, Dino Denelli?
No, Dino, no.
Dino somebody.
Was it Dino?
Yeah.
Maybe it was Dino Denal. I don't remember.
I thought so.
I remember of course, Felix
Yeah.
Cavalier. Eddie Brigatti was the singer.
Yeah.
The guitar, Gene Cornish.
Yeah, Gene Cornish.
And
you know who
Dino.
And you know who played a lot of the bass on their records themselves? Chuck Rainey.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's great.
Yeah.
He's great
Oh,
too.
he's the man.
But anyway, they were dressed in their little their knickers.
Like us. Yeah.
They were just in their knickers and their little ties.
Yeah.
Remember those little ties? They wore? and those big collars,
Yeah.
And we stand there waiting for them to start to play, and boom! Oh, they were rocking. They were just killing.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, But they were great.
Well, for some of the younger kids here in town and everything, Youngstown, I thought it was the center of the world when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Because when the mills were going, you'd get 2,000 kids on a Tuesday night at a Door Park Ballroom to hear the human beings.
Oh,
and
I
the
know.
I mean, this place was.
The place was bursting at the
And
seams.
so I remember in the mid '70s, we would play 5-6 nights a week. Remember, we'd play a lot. I mean, this place
Yes, we
was jumping.
Right over there used to be the Beachcomber.
Right.
Over there used to be the Limelighter. Down there, I should say.
Yeah.
Back here was the Theatrical, where the drugstore is now. Remember?
Yeah. And the Viking.
The Viking was over there too, across the street.
Yeah.
The same side as the Beachcomber.
Yeah.
2 weeks at the beach. Now you can't get 2 nights anymore.
You're right.
2 weeks, 5 nights a
Then
week.
you'd move your stuff across the street,
Yeah.
then move it over. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next 2 weeks we'd be at the Limelighter.
Yeah.
Next 2 at the Theatrical.
Yeah. And we made,
2 at the Viking.
we made a couple bucks too. We did okay.
And back at the Beachcomber.
I remember when I was a kid, I was 18 years old. We were playing the Limelighter on Tuesday nights. It was 35 cents a drink night for any drink.
Wow.
Now that's 43 years ago. And the place was jammed.
Oh, yeah.
Jammed. It was wonderful. It was like, wow.
The crowds that we used to get on Tuesday nights,
Yeah.
you can't get on a Friday night now.
I know. You can't do it.
Yeah, it's just
it's-
things. The
everything's different.
business has changed so much. There's so many other options,
Exactly.
And it all started with HBO.
Wonderful.
joy of doing it. I mean, you know what I did these, Tommy? I passed most of them out. I gave them to people.
Yeah.
Nobody's
That's
going to
what I
buy
do.
them. Nobody's going to buy those things. I give them to people. Girl at the gas station here. Girl at the Dunkin' Donuts here, you know.
Well, that's the only saving grace I can say about playing the bars.
Yeah.
Because you can sell those in the bars.
Exactly.
We're talking about American Deluxe, Bambo Kino.
There he is.
That picture of Mark right there, that picture, it could be, I could tell you it's 1968 and you'd believe me.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something just random.
Yeah.
What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you? Can you remember?
Well, actually, I used to be in the bail bond business, and I was a bail bondsman for years. And some of the really funny things I really can't say, but I'll tell you when we're off camera. I don't know. I really don't know.
I'll bet you you came across some real characters.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I first got in it, I was probably 30, 32, and I was in it for a while. Now, I was in it with my dad. My dad was a bail bondsman. A lot of people know my dad, Lou Bacilli. But I went home and I said, Mom, Dad, thank you for being my mom and dad, because a lot of people just don't have a shot from the get-go.
The only thing I remember about your dad, I didn't know your dad real well, but I met him
Yeah.
a couple of times, and he was a funny dude.
He was.
And he said to us one time, we were all talking, we were getting ready to go up on stage, and you were playing the gig with us that night. And he came up to us and he says, one thing you guys got to remember. And we all looked at him, no one said anything, and he said, don't screw up. And that's the only thing I remember about your dad.
Do you know, him and I were very, very close, and he passed away in New Year's Eve 2004.
Mhm.
And he 3 months before he passed, me and him were still going out. And
Wow.
he was dancing, yeah, he was 80.
Yeah, my dad used to come to my gigs.
Yeah.
When he was well into his 70s.
Yeah, isn't that
You know,
great?
he'd be the only person there that was even close to his age.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Isn't that great?
Yeah,
How
it
blessed
was.
we were.
Yeah, he was supportive that
Yeah,
way, and
yeah.
I appreciated it.
Yeah.
He'd have his little, you know what, I think you should do this instead
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
instead of that. You know, it's your dad. I mean, it's okay,
Yeah.
Dad. I'll keep it in mind.
Well,
whatever.
they were proud of us. They loved us.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Mark, was a gas seeing
Tommy,
you.
thanks
for
you.
coming on the show.
Thank
Great
you
to
so
have
much.
you. And by all means, you got to come back
Okay, I appreciate
because
it. I will. Thank
we go back and forth real good.
Capiche.
It was
Capiche.
like
Okay.
from the old school, man. I'm not from Camel, but Warren's like
We're,
Camel.
we're
What's the
going to
difference?
make you an honorary Camelite.
Okay.
Okay.
You hear that, everybody?
Yeah.
From this day on,
Yes.
I'm an honorary Camelite.
Yeah.
For Mark Bacilli, I'm Tommy Chris. It's good to have you with us as always. Bye from TCTV.